Whatever it is that's happening for you right now as you sit here is appearing to you, including this experience of being in a body, having a body, whatever it is that's arising in the field of the body, including having a mind and whatever is arising in the domain of mind. All of this is appearing. You could rest here, abide here, and just notice that whatever arises, lingers, and fades away appears within something, appears to something, via something, an aspect of you that is here all the time. Even as all the content changes, your body changes, the states in the body and the sensations change. As all of your mind states change from moment to moment, your thoughts change. And the world that appears through the senses, of course, is also changing from moment to moment. Even if it's just the picture that's appearing that's changing because you're turning your head or moving your body. And this, in a way, is the simplest way of practicing. It's a kind of non-practice. It doesn't involve any doing, just to be what you are and witness everything coming and going. Everyone tends to be so identified with with their body, with the mind, and with what's arising within it. We never learn to inhabit this knowingness, this beingness or presence that's here, even as the states and content of experience is in flux. And it's our failure to recognize this or to notice it or to even have been taught about it that makes it so hard to find any refuge, any stillness, especially of a type that's not non-dependent on conditions. So if you have some solid background, you may for periods just be able to be awake to what's happening moment to moment, what's arising through the sense doors and in the mind. But for most, it would be helpful to have an anchor, a kind of support, helps you stay here in awareness, and to not just be kind of pulled into and identified with the content of experience. And so for that, we can use the breathing, just the feeling the kind of raw sensations moment to moment. in a way that's prior to thinking, just the direct contact. You could be aware of the frame of the whole body. Or even of hearing, just letting the soundscape be your anchor. But even if you're using an anchor, letting everything else also happen around it, within it, in the background. Because having an anchor for your attention doesn't change the nature of this awareness, this beingness or consciousness in which it's all appearing. It just helps you be steady here and not just totally lost in the content. So you can practice in this simple way, breathing in and knowing it, breathing out and knowing it, and letting everything else that's happening just happen on its own. And when you do get identified or lost in the content, as soon as you're aware of it, you're no longer lost. You're awake to what's appearing and just watch it. And you can find the breath again as a support. Feel the body again as a support, just helping you stay here in wakefulness. And feeling the full arc of the in-breath, and feeling the full arc of the out-breath. Letting just this breath, just as it is, be enough. And we're always seeking something more in the field of objects or experiences. But that's not what we're cultivating here. We're cultivating a relationship with awareness itself, in which all of the states and experiences, all the content of experiences is coming and going, is appearing and disappearing and moving and changing. So just to be here right now with what's appearing right now in the form of this breathing body is enough. Let it be enough just for right now, just for this moment. In a relaxed way, riding on the waves, the breathing, keeping the breath sensations center stage in awareness. At the same time, allowing everything else that's happening just to happen freely, including states or feelings that you don't like or are unpleasant. I'm not trying to manage or control our experience, learning how to stabilize in present moment wakefulness in the midst of everything else that's happening, for now, with the breathing as a support. When you wake up to notice you've been in a dream world, in a thought world, and watching the thought, watching the images, the scene, listening to the dialogue or the words, and then finding the breath again. Of course, thinking it's just an experience like anything else. It's just content passing through the space of awareness. It does take a little more stability to be able to just watch thoughts come and go like anything else without an anchor, without a support in the breathing body. So perhaps for now, just finding the breath again, just for this in breath, just for this out breath. So hello, everyone. Just a few a few comments on the practice. There's an element as we kind of are continuously coming back to awareness. There's an element of trust that develops and that, in a sense, needs to develop. Because at first, well, awareness is just an idea for us, right? Even though it's the ground of everything you're experiencing, we live so much in the content of our thoughts that, we sort of like have these moments where we touch into, oh, I'm here for a second, whether you meditate or not, that happens, period. Oh, I'm here. But all of the practice stuff and all of these instructions, right, they're all about, you notice it's awareness with breathing, awareness with pleasant and unpleasant sensations, awareness with moods, emotions, awareness with body states, reactions, states of minds, attitudes, wanting, not wanting, awareness with you can get, there's so much diversity in the content. So that could seem confusing, but you notice the theme there is awareness, awareness, awareness with, awareness with, awareness with. And as we start to develop some continuity in being here, some continuity in presence, we start to, just through experience, start to begin to trust in awareness, in being present with the changing content, even the really difficult content, rather than trusting all of our usual kind of strategies, which are just, let's call them like in the content, right? Like getting more of this, getting less of that, fighting against this, pulling back from that, running away, kind of hanging on desperately. Yeah, there are all kinds of, or just not letting ourselves know the truth. That's a huge one, right? Like even just, I might talk about this more on Sunday, just this, not being honest with yourself. So these are all these strategies. And as we practice, we start to learn to trust in something that is here all the time throughout experience. We start to like rely on that, almost like rest in that. And we do that out of wisdom, not out of just like, well, someone said to do it. So we start to do it out of wisdom because it's more reliable to rest in that which is like not compounded, in that which isn't coming and going or fragile or subject to change from moment to moment. We start to rest in an aspect of you, right? So that's resting in awareness or trusting in awareness. That trusting comes from having a relationship with what's here and gradually learning to trust it. And seeing also how unreliable, how untrustworthy so many of our patterned responses to life actually are. How much they are not working. Maybe they worked up until now to get you, well, you're still alive, and that's a lot. Right? They worked enough, but now it's time to trust in something that's more reliable. Right? But again, trusting is a process. That kind of faith in awareness is a process, and the faith and the trust in that allows us to rest more and also to see more clearly what's here. There was a great Tai Chi teacher who died I think he died in the 60s, named Chen Men-ching. It's kind of an amazing practitioner and amazing kind of in pushing hands with people. People could not move him, and he was, anyway, he was incredible. I didn't know him, but I know people who knew him. And somebody asked him once, why are none of your students like close to your level? And he had some amazing students, so it's not like they weren't amazing. And his response was, no faith. So I think that's very interesting, right? No faith. So what does faith have to do with Tai Chi, right? It doesn't mean like belief in some supernatural thing. No, he's saying faith in the practice. Yeah. Trusting in the process. I assume that's what he meant. Yeah. The more we trust in the process, the more we surrender to the process, and more the process can work. Any process is like that, actually, but it's very true here. And you can't trust all at once from the beginning. So, but I want to use that term because as you move through the day, you'll have a million opportunities to trust in your strategies, or to see if maybe you could trust in awareness. Yeah. Now, sometimes you need to rely on your patterned training or strategy. That's fine, but just trusting in awareness, that's a learning that happens. Yeah. I will say, I think if you could, some people think, oh, I don't trust enough. If you could trust completely, I think you might be done. So that's a big thing. Okay, well, thank you all. And again, some of you look forward to, many of you, if you're going to come to the day-long retreat that my father and I are leading through Omega. Of course, it's online. You can go to Omega Institute's website and find it there. You could just look up John Kabat-Zinn or Will Kabat-Zinn. So that's tomorrow. We'll be practicing all day. And if you haven't, I know some of you know my dad. If many of you, maybe you haven't been exposed to him, but he's a wonderful teacher. So I think it would be a great day of practice, and hope to be there with some of you. And we will have our it'll have video on, so we'll get to dialogue and interact that way too. Okay, all right. Be well, and see you Sunday. I'll look forward to being with you Sunday, if not tomorrow.